The Black Expo was in shambles and it caused a whole beef for no reason. You should have just named it the Comeback Group. Is y'all ready to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville? Cue the music.
Oh yes, bitches and hoes. I'm back.
I drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate up for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Well, hello there, beautiful people. It's your girl, Voodoo Doll TV, back with another love review or whatever the case may be. And we're talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Child, Season 6. I forgot the episode. You know, listen, it's going to be down there in the description. I need to even stop saying that because I don't be remembering. But look, girl, this episode of this Black Expo was just a hot ass mess. I do like that we got a little tease from Stormy beefing with Tisha. That gave a little oomph, you know what I mean? But ultimately, girl, it was all right. Let's get into it. So the episode opens up. Stormy goes get Tisha and basically tell her that she don't like, or she don't feel like her man should be over there checking her by no $100 on the day of the event. And I'm here for it. She's absolutely right. It was very unprofessional of Marceau to come up to that girl while she's setting up, talking about he need the money or whatever the case may be. And especially if you're going to come to her, don't come to her the day of. Now, you asked Tisha to go do it. Tisha ain't won't do it. And here you go over there in front of another woman. Marceau, you giving me teas that I don't like. And I like Marceau, but you're giving me teas I don't like. I'm tired of you confronting women and being in women's business. You're acting like what Nene said Peter was back then on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But anyway, he's over there telling her, you know, I'm sorry. Did I come at you wrong? Did I come at you wrong? And I'm not gonna lie, Stormy turned up. Is she warranted? Possibly, I don't know. But in a business setting, I gotta be honest, it was a little bit unprofessional. So anyway, she over there talking about, I got a multi-million-dollar shipping going out right now. I don't need to be here, woo-de-woo-de-woo. And my thing is, girl, well, just leave. I mean, like, ain't nobody holding you there. You know what I mean? But anyway, I didn't like the fact that she threw up Courtney. I didn't like that she threw Courtney in that mix, talking about, because you don't want to see Courtney and she turning up and whatever the case. Because a lot of times as women, we don't understand that we put our men in very compromising situations. You know what I mean? When we just throw them in the mix like that. I get it. I would still tell my husband about it, but I wouldn't throw him out there as if my husband gonna come and kick his ass. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, you don't know what kind of defense that's gonna put this man on, which can ultimately cause an issue for your husband. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I think Courtney can take Marceau? Probably. He probably never had a fight, not a real one in his life. So I'm gonna say Courtney's probably the gentle giant that can take him. But ultimately, ladies, let's be careful about what we do and how we put our men in these type of situations, because we don't want nothing to happen to Courtney. We like Courtney. Anyway, either way, she was like, I'm gonna give you $100 or whatever. He was like, well, don't worry about it. We'll waive it. She said, no, you need it. I'll give it to you, whatever the case may be. Tisha sat there and said nothing, which is why I don't appreciate her coming back saying something later, and we gonna get there. Let's move on. Now, Mel and her brother is on the way to the Expo, and for the life of me, I'm sitting here saying, wait a minute. I thought Mel had something to do. I know at the last minute she ended up saying, I just don't feel comfortable doing it, which is her right. But in my mind, I'm like, so what you going for? Like, I wouldn't have went at all, to be honest. I honestly wouldn't have went. And for all you millimeters, don't get in my comments saying she could go where she want to go. I never said she can't. I'm just saying, if you wasn't going to be a part of it, why even sit in the audience? That's just me. Anyways, but her and her brother was talking about how she had a show the night before, or somehow right before, and then she's got one, you know, the following night, so she just gonna go there to support. I think she's going there to critique. That's what I think. I think she's going there to see if it was gonna fail or if it was gonna do well, and surprisingly, it did not fail. But anyway, the brother was like, so how is it with you and Martel? You know, how is everything going? And she was like, well, look, I really ignore Martel. I don't really give Martel the time of day. I'm really good at ignoring him, or whatever the case may be. So anyway, that was it for that little car ride. But they on the way down there to the Expo. Let's move on. So now the Expo gets started. Stormy all set up in her corner or whatever the case. She's ready to start the Expo off. And Martel decides to go over to this mentor boot. I guess they mentor young men in business because he wants his brother to actually get the help that he needs. Shout out to Martel for making sure your brother got everything he needs as far as being the owner of a business and all that stuff. I always support black people starting businesses if they're going to be good. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they all talking, and Marceau was like, it was a good turnout. And Mel and her brother get to walking in. She surprisingly notices that everything actually looks pretty good. And they're there for, I guess, Mel says she gonna buy some things or whatever the case. This was a good time for you to promote your business. But I get it. If you don't want to do it, ain't nobody making you do it, girl. That's fine. Anyway, so, what's this girl named Tiffany goes over there to talk to Maurice and Marceau and all of them, and she's wondering why she wasn't getting a chance to speak. She said she just found out about this doggone thing 2 days ago, and she feels some type of way. Marceau was like, girl, when we called you, you was around there talking about your blood pressure or something was going up, and you was going into labor and all of that, so we just didn't worry about it or whatever. But Tiff feels some type of way because Tiffany likes to look like and feel like the smartest person in the room. When in fact, Tiffany, you are not. You wasn't invited. The people said they don't even know what you do. To be completely honest, I kind of think I know what you do, but I don't know what you do for real. Let's just talk about it. But anyway, they didn't invite you, girl, because you're damn near 1 foot in the hospital and the other foot outside of it. They didn't want to chance it and have you on the thing, and then you can't make it because you done went down there and went into labor. Okay. Anyway, I'm with Martel. I'm surprised you want to speak. Not Martel, Marceau. I wouldn't have put you up there anyway. Anyway, so let's move on. So Mel's brother sees Martel and goes over and talks to him and basically was like, what's up, bro? How's everything going? And he was just like, everything's good on my end or whatever the case may be. And Mel's brother asked how him and Mel could be in a better place. You know what I'm saying? To have a smoother relationship. Martel was like, look, it's been 3 years. On my end, I feel like it's cool, but on her end, I guess it's not. So, it's really up to her. This is my thing with this. Shoot, I hate to be... He's right. It is cool on his end, but Martel, if you're around there stalking that girl, then I understand why she don't want nothing to do with you. If that's the case, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's been 3 years. Y'all got to move on now. This is tiring. This is tiring to the audience. Y'all triggering these people who have horrible exes and horrible situations with their ex-old man and husbands and all of that. Y'all need to get along at this point. At this point, it's just done and over with. But anyway, the brother is over there laughing and because he feels like Martel full of crap and they played a bunch of flashbacks or whatever. But Martel said he's still not feeling what's her name, Mel brother, because he never forget when her brother came over there and told him the kids call him daddy. He don't really feel him like that. My thing is, why you being fake with it? Just tell him and move around. That's what I would have did. Anyways. So Martel's brother arrived and he's over there talking to him about the boot that he found or whatever. And he's over there saying that, he found somebody to help mentor him into ownership. I'm here for it. But Martel, where's your products? We gonna get to that. That's a whole nother question. Anyway, they had asked Maurice, well, Kimmy was, and he said Kimmy was at her last radiation and she could kind of handle it herself. Kimmy, that man don't give a damn about you, girl. He loves you, but he don't give a damn about you. It's a difference. Anyway, so she comes in and say, it takes a lot out of her to go into radiation and come and do this because it normally takes a lot out of her, which is even more reason why we as the people want to know why you was rolling over and letting that man pound on you. You know what I'm saying? Get on top of you and do his business. You know what I mean? But that's between you and your husband, girl. Anyway, but she said they lucky that she there because normally she would be like tired and through because it takes a lot to have radiation. I would also assume that would be true. But she made it because she want to be there to support. Okay. So now this lady pulled her aside and said, I really appreciate you sharing your story. She said, because you really helped a lot of people, help people to go get tested and make sure everything's straight or whatever. And Kimmy was like, at first I didn't want to do it. I kind of wanted to keep it to myself. She was like, but my husband told me I need to go head on and come out here and share my story because you never know who you can help. And she never thought she'd help as many people as she helped. That's it's brave of Kimmy to do that. Shout out to Kimmy for that. It really struck up a conversation about this that needed to be had. So I'm glad you did listen to Maurice. I don't know what his motives were behind it because I'm always squinting my eyes at Maurice more now than ever. But neither here nor there. It was a good thing that you did. So shout out to Kimmy for sharing your doggone journey. We all as women, especially black women, needed to hear it. Now, Mel runs across Martel's brother, and you can tell she genuinely has a genuine relationship with him. She really was so happy to see him in a positive light. She said she's been around for like a long ass time, and she's been around enough to know that he's been having so many downsides. She's actually genuinely happy to see him have upsides. Now, one thing that I did notice about this, and you can tell editing cut it. he basically told her, so how is y'all gonna get to a better place? You know what I'm saying? And she was like, well, you know your brother. He said, yeah, I know my brother. He was like, but I also know you too. It kind of cut to where she started talking about something completely different. What did he say about Mel? Yeah, anyway, but nevertheless, she was genuinely happy to see him. She almost came to tears or whatever, because she loves her brother-in-law. She said, that ain't my ex, that is my actual brother-in-law. Shout out to Mel. Moving on now, Stormy gets a call from her husband that they done mislabeled a whole bunch of stuff, and now they short 100 and something labels. Now she freaking out. She got a multi-million-dollar deal, a multi-million-dollar shipment that need to go out, and she down there at the Expo. Girl, your priorities is all wrong, because baby, I would have been doing my doggone thing at my with my stuff, girl. I would not be down there in no Expo playing with no damn Marceau wanting $100 a day at a doggone event. If anything, he'd have been paying me. Do you hear me? That's what I'm saying. But anyway, she's freaking out because she really would like to be back at the warehouse, but she can't. She's already there. She's already set up. And I feel so bad for her because she regrets even being there, honestly. And I honestly don't blame her. I would feel the same way if, I ain't gonna lie, the way my nerves set up, I probably would have left. I ain't gonna lie. The way my nerves set up, girl, and I know something like that, that could cost me thousands, if not hundreds and tens of thousands of dollars is going wrong, girl, I'm out of there. I'm well out of there. Say what I say. But Stormy stayed and trusted her husband and her team was gonna make sure everything was taken care of. Shout out to you, Stormy. But anyways, Tiff walked her messy ass up over there and basically said that they asked her to speak, or no, they didn't ask her to speak, and she felt some type of way. So they're over there in the corner gossiping or whatever, because Stormy said everything is all half-assed, basically, and ain't nothing going right. She told her about how Marceau came up to her asking her for that money or whatever, and it was just a mess. She said, girl, this was half done. You could tell it wasn't professional. Stormy even got in a confessional and said it was giving junior prime as far as the decor. It was just disgusting. So Messy and Messier is over there in the corner gossiping, as you should. If you feel like that's what it was, that's what it was. I wasn't there to say it wasn't. So it is what it is. Anyways, speaking of unprofessionalism, Kimmy over there telling Mel that they got her ducked off so far in the back corner that nobody could even see her. Because Mel was like, wait, I passed around there. I didn't see you. Yeah, because they ducked her off in the corner. Kimmy, you another one should have stayed home. You just came off of radiation. You down there donating your time, and they going to put you off to the back corner like you ain't a part of the comeback group. Girl, I'd have been cussing and fussing and throwing a fit. Probably not at the doggone thing, but see, when we got home, I'd have cussed their asses out. Do you hear me? So, you know what? I'm not mad at Stormy for gossiping in the corner with messy tips, because apparently this is all half-assed. None of it is in order the way it should be. So I'm here for it. Anyways, moving on. Maurice and Marceau want to know where Sheree at. Sheree ain't nowhere to be found. Martel had to tell them that basically she's out in California visiting a friend, and she can't get her phone keep dying and he can't get in touch with her. Now they trying to rationalize this and try to make him feel better by saying, well, maybe she at church, they got the 3-hour time difference or whatever the case. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe she's just, a little tied up. For lack of better terms. And in this moment, I'm like, girl, y'all are not even together. Y'all, why are we doing this? Why are we playing this dog and pony show? But anyway, Martel was like, yeah, man, I talked to her one time and she said the phone about to die in 5 seconds, and it did, and he ain't talked to her since. But he get in his confessional and say that's his friend girl. First of all, I didn't know men use that term. Maybe it's an Alabama thing. I don't know. But ultimately, yeah, she ain't there. And we ain't surprised, because you ain't gonna be on her show neither. Stop telling people y'all together, because y'all is not together, okay? We don't want to hear it. We don't want to see it. We don't want to find it. Y'all wasn't made for each other, meant for each other, or supposed to even be friends, if you ask me. Moving on. So the Expo get to starting, and they're in the back arguing. They in the back arguing behind the doggone projector. I'm sorry. They arguing because basically now Martel is up there being a little biatch, saying he don't want to go on. You know what I'm saying? The problem with that is everybody can see you, idiot. And it would take Messy Tiff to be sitting in the front of the doggone congregation to be able to see it and say it was embarrassing, because everybody could see that they back there arguing and cutting up. Martel, why is you even up here if you gonna get back there at the last minute and say you don't want to come? But we know why you don't want to go on, because you saw Mel in the audience. I mean, just look at him. Look at how he looking out to see Mel in the audience. He looked like a big ass kid. Martel looked very childish. You know what I mean? He just, look at how his head shaped like a milk dud anyway. He just looked very childish. And it's just like, boy, go lay down. Go take off your suit and go lay down. If Mel intimidates you that much, you need to go home. Go home. You ain't got much to add to it anyway. You only just started your wine company 2 days ago. You ain't got much to add to the Black Expo anyway. The brains was Martel, not Martel. The brains was Mel. They even said that Marceau and Maurice was talking, and he said, because Maurice was like, why you didn't bring your wine? And Martel was like, well, you know, I had a couple wine tastings, so I didn't really want to bring it out. You know what I mean? And Maurice even said that you can tell the brains of the operation was Mel, especially when it comes to marketing. Because if anybody should have bought their stuff here, especially a brand new company like Inez Wine, I think that's the name of it, it should have been doggone Martel. But you know, Martel don't have the foresight of the forethought to understand business strategies and how it works. So here we are. He's out there peeking out the window because he's scared, because Mel out there, he gonna get nervous. Somebody he already be nervous when he speak. Boy, bye. Anyway, they start the doggone expo. They get to talking, the people asking questions, they introduce everybody. Martel did end up coming out. I ain't got time to be playing with no Martel. But they start the expo and the people got to asking questions once they kind of did their little thing. And Martel was the person out with the microphone in the audience. So now Martel holds the mic to this dude, and this dude asks about venture capitalists or venture capital. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but if I had to guess, venture capital will probably be money, because capital is money, or funds, or like some type of sponsorship from, I guess, ventured, I don't know, maybe like a whole bunch of different people that you wouldn't normally get it from. That's what I'm deducing it down to be. Matter of fact, let me look this up. Per definition, I just looked it up. Venture capital is generally used to support startups and other businesses with the potential for substantial or rapid growth. So I was I was off, I ain't gonna lie. Basically, it's the startup money. You know what I'm saying? For little startup businesses or whatever. So the man asked this question, and instead of Marceau being the man, just be a man about it. Baby, you ain't gotta lie to me. No. Instead of him being a man about it and saying, "Say, brother, I don't know, little brother, if you could kind of, maybe go into it a little bit more." He tried to answer the question and was stumbling all over his words, looking dumber than he already is. Marceau, listen, Leonard. I understand you want to look like the smartest person in the room, but you not. And you got Tip over there saying, "This pregnant woman right here, he could have asked me. I know a lot about venture capital." Shut up, they ain't want you up there. You stay in the audience with Big Lou and get ready to go into labor. That's what you do, because you wasn't even supposed to be here. Let's talk about it. Anyway, but yeah, Marceau looked at a damn fool, as he always do. Moving on. So this other girl asked a question. She gets up and wants to know about credit. She was like, how do you, explain or get everything starting up with credit and all of that, especially when you're trying to start a business. And we find out this boy Maurice had a credit score of 407. He said he couldn't buy a piece of bubble gum, or he couldn't get a piece of bubble gum. You probably couldn't pay attention. With a 407 credit score, I didn't even know they go under the fives. Oh, child. My child started out with a higher credit score than Marceau. I mean, not Marceau, Maurice. Lord have mercy. But anyway, he said that's what got him to starting his doggone credit company, where they gonna charge you to do something you could do. Let's talk about it. They gonna charge you to do something you could do on your own. But yeah, that's how he started his credit company. Maurice, don't tell nobody else that, bro. Don't tell nobody else that, because I'm pretty sure Kimmy helped you in that department too. Moving on. The show was a success. Everybody's all happy. What's that girl named? Tisha asked her husband what was most embarrassing. Martel not wanting to come out at the last minute, or, the issue with them arguing behind the screen. Marceau said Martel not going on is kind of a given, as we all know. But it was a success. Shout out to the Black Business Expo. That's going to be the gift that keeps on giving. Let's move on. Now, Stormy and her husband is in bed talking. He done made it past the first hump, or the hump with the doggone shipping issue. He's good. He's tired. And he get to asking her how the expo was. And she basically told him, it was cool, but, Marceau tried to check me about some money, $100 a day of. I ain't really appreciate that. And so Courtney was like, was he serious? And she was like, he was dead ass. Like, and I ain't really appreciate him, checking me like that. She was like, you gonna say something to him? And she was like, somebody need to tell him he a bitch. And he was like, yeah, I talk to him or whatever. Because he feels like she shouldn't have been having that conversation with no man. I agree, especially when she has a husband. If Tisha didn't want to go and ask her for the money, Marceau shouldn't have went over there either. So Courtney said he gonna check Marceau. And I can't wait to see it. Even though I like Marceau, that's my boy, I still can't wait to see it. Anyway, he goes into telling her the real reason why he didn't want her to get another baby was he said that she was losing a lot of blood. Like the doctor was literally picking up almost pails of blood, throwing it to the side. It was a traumatizing thing and situation for him, right? Now, I know when he went to his mama house, he said that it wasn't about that. It was basically he had the fear of not being with her and being absent in his children's lives. And it could be multiple things as well. And I'm pretty sure that was traumatizing because even she said, I didn't have no clue that it was traumatizing. And he said he understands, but he had to be strong. He didn't want her to know how he truly felt, which is horrible within itself. I'm sad that he had to go through that. Anyway, nevertheless, so then he says that he's actually ready to entertain the idea if they're gonna have another baby for them to use a surrogate because he don't want to see her go through what she went through. Ladies, pay attention. A man who loves you will tell you stuff like this, DC Young Fly. He's not going to allow you to risk your life for surgeries, even if it means having a baby. He will say, let's venture into other ideas. At first, he was completely closed off to the surrogate, but he understands that his wife wants another child. He loves his wife. And in order to make that happen, there has to be a happy medium, which is him allowing his wife to just go ahead on and go through surrogacy. That's love, ladies. Pay attention. A man who don't care about what you do, and let you go off and get these surgeries and risk your life and limb for you to not be there for your kids, don't love you, okay? Let's move on. So now, Messy Tiff invited the girls out for lunch because she wanted to, quote unquote, give constructive criticism to Tisha and basically ask her why she wasn't invited or included in the Expo. Girl, because don't nobody want to see you. They ain't coming to see you, Otis. Anyway, so they sit down and the first thing Tiff says is, I didn't appreciate that I didn't get an invite to the Expo. Tisha said, girl, to be honest, I don't even know what you do for real. Like, I don't even know what you do. Like, I know Lou do something and you might do something else, but I don't know for sure what you do. None of us know. But she's steadfast on that. Yes, they do, because she said that they raised $3.something million in her charity, right? Now, I do like that Kimmy jumped in and was like, well, that's not true. It's not that you wasn't invited, because they were kind of talking about you from the very beginning. They included you. But, somewhere, somehow, the ball got dropped and your ass got uninvited. Or maybe they just didn't give a damn because you around here having pressure issues and all of that other stuff or whatever the case. Now, this makes Stormy already coming in with an attitude. Stormy already feels some type of way. So Stormy is sitting in the corner and was like, girl, this is all BS. Like, this is all BS. At the end of the day, she feels like she didn't appreciate Tisha confronting her or having her husband confront her about $100. It was very unprofessional. She didn't appreciate that. And she was like, it was not, cool or whatever. And Tisha said, well, I talked to my man. And since you brought it up, I didn't really appreciate you talking to my man like that. It was unprofessional, and that's my husband. I didn't appreciate you talking to him like that. Tisha, my only problem with you is why you ain't say it then. Maybe because y'all was at the Expo, you ain't want to cause a scene. But I would have pulled her on the side and said, hey, at least afterwards, hey, boo, that wasn't a good thing to do. But you know what? I can't tell you about your timing, girl. So she tells her, I talked to him and I didn't appreciate it. And I'm telling you right now, I didn't appreciate it as well. Now, this is Stormy to turn up. And this is the part of Stormy that I didn't like when she came on with Destiny. You always barking and barking and barking. Somebody gonna pop you upside your head. You forgot reality shows does not make you safe, okay? So anyway, she get the barking, Stormy, talking about, girl, bye. Your husband didn't have to come at me like that, and you wasn't there, so you don't know how he was talking to me. So how you gonna come over here and tell me how I should have responded? I understand that. I completely understand that. Don't come checking me about my response when you wasn't there to witness the beginning. You know what I mean? But ultimately, Stormy, as we all know, that's that girl's husband. Like, come on now. Let's be real. It don't matter how it started or how when it's my husband, girl, I'm gonna back my husband. Like, period. But I do feel like he probably bucked, what's her name, Tisha up to say something, because I don't think Tisha probably would have said nothing, because she's kind of non-confrontational. But anyway, Stormy get the bucking and acting a damn fool as she always do. And Tisha is standing on her square. Tisha said, girl, look, like I told you and like I told him, I didn't appreciate it. I wasn't going to say nothing to you at the expo, but at the end of the day, that's my husband. I wouldn't talk to your husband like that, so why do you feel like it's okay to talk to mine? I agree, but Tisha, tell your husband, stop going confront women. It's giving bitch assness, and I don't like it. Tell him stop confronting women, and he won't have to worry about women cussing his ass out. But you were still in your right to come and say something about it. I guess, I don't know, girl. This is all over the place, girl. But anyway, so, you know, when Tisha said that she wouldn't talk to Courtney like that, Stormy said you wouldn't because you know better. Now, Stormy, you talking cash money shit now. You talking that hot boys, cash money, you know, cash money records taking over for the 99 and the 2000 shit. You know what I mean? Now, you don't know people like that. You don't know people like that. You did the same thing with Destiny. What's up? What's up? That's what's up. That's what's up. That same ghetto BS. And it ain't because your accent, because you being ghetto. You end up turning up on that girl in the doggone restaurant. Tisha said it calmly that she didn't appreciate both of y'all. And you sitting up here telling her not to tell you how to react. While I agree that she can't tell you how to react, it's a way that you do things, Stormy. And the way that you're doing them are not indicative of a person who actually wants to have a conversation. You came there on 10 because you felt some type of way. Now, if it was that unprofessional, I understand, but you don't have to do it no more. Like Tisha said, girl, you don't even know me. Like the old me would have jumped across the table. You know what I mean? And I feel Tisha on that. But Tisha, you know, she's keeping her composure. And she said she ain't even doing no tripping or whatever, but she just don't appreciate you hollering and acting a fool like that. Listen. When that girl Stormy hollers, well, if you feel some type of way, just go ahead on and get active. I ain't gonna lie. I was just sitting here saying, girl, you running a multi-million-dollar company and you over here talking about get active. You hoes don't need no money. They gave the wrong bitches money. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, Tisha decides to remove herself from the situation and say she ain't about to do this and told Messy Tiff, don't you invite me to another goddamn situation like this. I'm done. It's over with. And she decides to leave. As you should, Tisha. As you should. I don't blame you for leaving. Now, on the foresight, let me see if I got some pictures. I don't think I got none. Hold on, y'all. Girl, I ain't got Anne Reid photo. But look, they said that Kiki had done relapsed and done went to jail. Girl, they said they was looking for her. She was on the loose. Term and loose, Kevin. And they said that she probably done relapsed. And, you know, everybody frustrated about it. And, you know, she's going to talk to Mel because Mel said innocent till proven guilty. You know, she going to take the opposite side. And Mel going to go talk to her. And she told Mel that, you know, Tisha was the last person to check on her. Girl, let me tell you something. If Tisha is the person who's been dealing with you with this back and forth all this time, she ain't got to check on you for nothing. Say what I say. Anyway, so they gonna get to arguing and fighting, and girl, and when Kiki threw that water on Tisha, I ain't gonna lie, I would have lost all couth and doggone respectability politics that I knew, and I'd have wham across that table and drug her like Monique drug Candace. Girl, ain't no way. This gonna be a good one, y'all. I think this gonna be good. Nevertheless, that was the end of the doggone episode, y'all. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, obviously hit the notification bell. You know all that same BS. And I'll see y'all later, girl. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.